Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Floyd and today, while mining the realms of YouTube.com, I struck gold. Pure gold. An audition call video by the YouTuber named Rotunes. I instantly clicked and saw the object cringe inspiration and knew the OSC gods have guided me to peak. Without much thought, I decided to watch their main project called Object Things, and whoo boy, that was the best decision of my entire life. Today I'm going to be yapping about this object show named Object Things, and stay tuned to the end to hear my rating as well as why you need to watch this object show right now! Starting off with the introduction of the characters. Character introductions are really important for the development of any show. I think the creator does an excellent job at revealing the personalities of the characters so well. And as we'll get into later, the writing of this show in general is just so reminiscent of shows like Object Cringe and, in my personal opinion, Object Enable as well. Right off the rip, we have drama with previously known as Fruit Group getting into drama over Lemon attempting to add another member to the group.
We just have a Halloween decoration in our crew. Besides, she's not even a fruit. This is a fruit gang, not a prop gang.
Speaking of Spiderweb and Lemon, I'm gonna stop you right here and spoil you a little bit. Keep an eye on these two, alright?
Okay, well, since you're a lazy, sour piece of cuteness, I'm going to drag you there myself.
6, 7.
Okay, anyways, my favorite characters in the series so far are Lemon, Spiderweb, Locky, Road TV, and Mailbox. Lemon is this silly, kind, and overall interesting character. Imagine Pillow and BFB or Tpot, but she isn't homicidal 24/7. Pretty much everything I like about Pillow is Lemon, and I actually, for once in my life, feel like it's legal to like a character. Let's go! Spiderweb is essentially the sad loser emo girl, essentially, but can get attached to a person very easily. So, TV and Locky are pretty much these funny and interesting child gremlins in the show that I like a lot because whenever they interact, I can't help but laugh at how silly and goofy they are. Road is essentially this very artistically crafted character, and I love the lore for him. That's the story for another time, though. And finally, we have Mailbox. Now, all I'm gonna say about Mailbox is imagine Paintbrush and Pencil from Nan Sandy and Tpot, but she isn't a bitch. That's pretty much all for my favorite characters. Now let's move on to the storyline. I won't spoil too much to save time, and also because, to put it simply, I want you guys to experience the genuine masterpiece like I have, okay? Okay, so a brief summary of this show. Episode 1, there's a lot of drama in the world of these objects where they dwell. Now, the host appears accompanied by their co-host, which decide to host a show for the power of Earth. Power! Does that sound familiar? Second episode, the drama picks up and Mailbox becomes a lot more hurtful both to herself and others. Episode 3, they go trick-or-treating for a challenge and Spiderweb and Lemon almost make out. And episode 4 is the most cinematic apocalyptic backstory you'll ever imagine. Tpot 20, who? Okay, that's a summary of basically every episode out right now, and I know you're probably thinking, and no, that was not the wind. Remember when I told you guys to keep an eye on Lemon and Spiderweb earlier? Well, as it turns out, they become a thing. They already were my favorite ship since the first 30 seconds of the first episode. That short I posted the other day was 100% a skit, but little did I know I was in for the cutest Yuri I would ever witness. No, yeah, that wasn't the wind either. This show has it all. The romance in this show is packed. For a cast that too big, there was a massive ratio between characters with a ship and with not. And in fact, to be honest, I'm a fiend for romance, so this show just pretty much answers all my prayers. Thanks, OSC gods. Every time I would verbally comment on the show while watching it, something unexpectedly good would happen. I already said this in my stream, but I still have a good hunch this show is stalking me and knows my every move. Earth, if you're watching this video, can you make Spiderweb and Lemon French kiss in the next episode? The show is insanely good at confusing the crap out of me sometimes. It takes me back to my early days in the OSC back in like 2020 to 2021 where I was watching Object Cringe and Object Enable religiously. It honestly kind of feels like in the middle. Object Enable being kind of corny sometimes, which is another video in itself. This show has a lot of soppy moments while also maintaining its good arcs and balanced writing. There are a lot of questionable scenes per se in the show, such as,
What are you gonna do? Just gonna cry just because we got your boyfriend off the meme? Hold on, that sounds wrong. You know Locky's a kid, right?
or you know,
She showed me her drawings after the challenge last night.
What else did you guys do last night?
or wait, don't forget about,
Oh, really? Weren't you guys in another room making the Day of the Dead?
yeah, no, this object show is very unhinged, and I literally can't help but ask how this made it past the writing stage, but holy am I glad it did. There is so much chaos in this show. If you know me, you know I'm a sucker for lore and pure havoc. This show takes the cake for being absolutely dramatic and detrimentally overwhelming, just at the right time. Watch episode 4 and you know what I'm talking about. The plot around Road and Earth's worlds being terrorized with this big, black, mysterious figure had me shitting my britches, bro. It doesn't take a lot to understand the lore of this show, despite it being so complex and dynamic. Now let's get on to the actual pros and cons of the show, the meat of this video. Pros. The writing is silly enough to the point where it reels me in a way that a lot of more known object shows really can't. There's drama, so much drama. Literally, to say this show is a popcorn-worthy show would be a massive understatement. There's romance. Look, not all shows with romance are goated, but in my eye, if your object show has a little bit of romance, or better yet, good romance, you pretty much already earned my respect. Animation is so smooth and reminiscent of BFB, and it only gets better each episode. And also, the characters seem to actually be characters, and probably more realistic than that, in my opinion. My only cons on the show is very fast-paced, which isn't a bad thing, but I would have loved to see more scenes of Lemon and Spiderweb, or Spuddyman as we like to call it, talk more on a personal level before catching feelings for each other. And the lore is already becoming present, making me worry about the show's length, because if we already get a popular episodes like this, imagine what episode 10 or 15 is gonna look like. These cons are not really that bad though, so in general, for overall quality, storytelling, passion, and enjoyment, I would give the show an honest 9.9 out of 10. Not to say it's the best of all time, but for my enjoyment of the show, I gotta give it credit where credit's due. This show is awesome. Now, this may be the end of the review, but stay tuned to tomorrow because I actually got an interview with the creator of Object Things. If you want to learn more about this show, subscribe for more. But anyways, thank you guys for watching and tuning in. My name is Flitunes. Now I have to tunes out. And remember, keep calm, carry on, listen to Weezer Chromacopia, watch Object Things, and also FFP, that's coming out soon, the trailer is out. And stay neutral / be the best. Peace!